Everybody. Boy. As usual, hello. Ladies and everybody, what's up? It's just me, Brian. Welcome to the KotoKai Workbench 168. How you doing? Michael, you always chiming in nice and early. I appreciate that. Good morning to you over there on the other side of the planet. What's up, Lorenz? And what is up, Jeff? Hi, everybody else out there in the chat or that's watching this in the future. How you doing? Welcome to my tiny little workspace. I am working on the Porsche. It's coming down to due time. Take a little water here. Oh, Ty Furious, what's up, man? Yeah, the Porsche is coming along. I had a fuck up because that's what happens, and I discovered a thing. First, the fuck up, because I'm not gonna hide nothing. It's very dusty, and I've already been working on polishing it, but I burned through the hood again. Yes, the hood, because I haven't had any issues with the hood yet, except that's all that's been really giving me hell is the hood. So to be expected. What's up, Zach Bly? Gonna be seeing this man real soon. I'm working on those restaurants. I'll figure something out good. Oh no, it's okay, Jeff, don't worry. I got a plan. It's gonna work out. But so where I burned through is, you can see it right there. Little bitty baby. It hates me. Let's see if I can cover my face because it loves my face. You just barely see it, right? Oh, there you go. Yeah, look at that. Little son of a gun. Burned right through. Rats. And I did it with 8,000 grit sandpaper, so I believe it was probably destined to happen. But Bettina, I wish, my friend. I do wish. It looks great otherwise, right? I pulled up the Meguiar's and I started shining. I shined up the roof. You can see my ring light really well. It will do the focus. But yeah, no, it is shiny as all get out. And it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be nice and shiny. But my fix is I'm gonna add a tasteful asymmetrical racing stripe that runs, which is common on Porsche, that will run from the bumper up to the window, and then up across the roof, and then down across the tail, over the spoiler and all that stuff. So must have been thin. Yeah, the paint was real bad. Zach, you may not know, but I've had to strip and redo the paint on this. I stripped the whole thing once entirely and redid it all from scratch, and then I did the hood again because the hood had caught an anomaly. So I ended up having to fix the hood, but when I isolated it and I fixed it, I ended up having to actually fix it again after I had already isolated and fixed it once while it was still isolated. I fixed it yet again. So it's been through like 4 different stages of full strip down paint, or partial strip down paint, repaint, which is cool and sucks at the same time. It's just part of the learning game, and it's fun. It's a fun thing to do, and it's cool to learn. And every model that I make and every new thing that I try, let's see if I can turn this without getting my mic. Fantastic. Every new thing that I try, you just grow and you get better. And then sharing these things with you guys, as we share things with each other, we all learn and we get better together, which is pretty kind of the idea. So my plan is to do some more polishing on this. I want to get it nice and shiny before I lay down the masking tape on it to do the primer. I think I'm just going to start with a gray primer. That's why I said primer instead of like the paint. So I'm just going to start with a gray lacquer primer. I've got some 1500 grit or 1500 weight, however you want to say it. Mr. Gray, and I'll lay that down on top of this and see how I feel about it. And if I like it, I may stick with it, but if I don't like it, then I may go with like a tan, like a light tan or a buff, I think is another name for that color. Buff. It's like a khaki, but not really like khaki, because khaki can be kind of dark. So yeah. So I think I may do that. Depends. I don't know. The interior is nice. It's all brown, as you guys know, brown and like dark gray. So I think it'll be cool. And then I still have to do all the details on the tail, masking the dusty, or not dusty, but fibrous from the polishing wheels. I have to do the black for the grate, the tail, all the bumper work, the side skirts, these little weird rubber side skirts that it has, all the black around the windows, because it's all baked into the model itself, not into the clear, which is great because I don't have to paint the clear. And yeah, that stuff's all black, which is cool. And then I have the lenses, and at least I have the undercarriage done. So I thought we were supposed to hide that knowledge behind a paint. Well, some people do that. They're a bunch of jokers. This is a hobby, man. I don't do this. This is for free, like I ain't doing nothing. I have friends. Zach's my friend. He gives me deals on some good stuff. It's great, and he helps me out because he fucking kicks ass. And if you guys haven't gone shopping at fucking Galactic Toys, I do it. You should too. What does it say? I was seeing pictures of it on Facebook taking a bath. Yo, straight up taking a bath. That was that purple power. You gotta use that purple industrial cleaner. You have to watch out though. I first was messing with it. Mind you, I had it in that tub, right? And I got like a tile brush. Let me crack open one of my sodas here. I got this evening, because I'm not drinking anymore, which is sticking with me, and I don't know what's up. I'm energetic enough. The booze slowed me down, but so I got a Dr. Pepper tonight, and I grabbed this is kind of weird. I'm talking about soda right now, guys. Please bear with me. I got Fanta pineapple. It's weird. It tastes like it should have alcohol in it from all of the like malt beverages that I've had over the years, but yeah, like it's kind of silly what it's like, but it's okay. It's like a fun drink, something different. Nothing has caffeine in it and all that jazz. That's a 911. Yeah. It's like a 934, I think, but they called it a 911. But yeah, it's the 911 Turbo curbside kit from Tamiya. They're standard. I got it right here in the box. Take it out real quick. Rags, can't have no painted rags. Oh, what's this one? Wow. Ta-da! Very, very shiny body. The like metal that it came in was crazy shiny. But had like that weird seam swirl from the injection. Same thing that the DeLorean had. Same dealie. But a different finish. Anyway, yeah, this box I really don't. Why am I keeping this box around? Like nostalgia? All it has in it is the clear. Ooh, do I have to? Oh man. So this is due for me, for my own sake. It's not due for, I don't have to have it done. I want to have it done with the group build. This is with the group build by the end of the month of September. It's good to say that. And I have time still because I have a hobby meeting this weekend that I can get some different colored panel liner. Because right now all I have is the black panel liner, and that shit is bold, baby. That stuff is like out of control a little bit, and I feel like it needs to calm the fuck down. So, guessing late 80s. Aha. You're right. Yeah, Zach's a car guy. Lots of guys are car guys. I always like them, like, but I don't know a lot about them. Like I like machines. That's kind of been my mind full of metal. But what an interesting thing. They give you these nice little instructions. That'd have been great when I was a kid. I am no longer a child. Not at heart. Yeah, this is great. I picked this up at AAA Hobbies, where my club meets, my model club meets. One thing I wish that it had, it had some steering in the front. I like it when you can see like the little model cars. My buddy Julian Hosmer did recently released a Galant, very limited release of photos because he's not like a showman, not like me all dancing and shit. Looks so good. It looks so very good. Actually, I might be able to share a picture. See if I can get this build up. Give me 1 second, guys, while I look at a different screen. How's everybody doing this evening? I think I need to go over here. Where is it? Is it here? It's around here. Where are you, my friend? Uh-oh. Something's getting glitchy. The music sounds like it's having issues. There we go. Caught back up. Being weird on me. All right. Let's see where I gotta do this. What's up, Doku? Oh shit! I was just talking about going down to AAA. I'm really happy to say that I can go there this Sunday for the Hobby Club meeting. I don't know if you and Derek are gonna go down, but I'm fucking going, man. I thought I wasn't going to because we were doing the Built Sideways. The whole crew is going to be on with Devin and the Cerulean project on Sunday evening, very late for me. It'll be about 10 o'clock my time. I'll be jumping on, but we're going to have like a big conversation about, you know, the whole mental health thing, and we're all crazy and that stuff. We're not all crazy, but you know how it is. But yeah, we're going to have a nice like round table. It's going to be kind of fun. I look forward to it. Haven't hung out with like online, you know, in person. You know how it is hanging out online with Devin in like a while. He's a really cool guy. Oh, I gotta try and find that picture of that Gallant for you guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to find shit. Boom. It's under here. Oh, why am I not doing that? Okay, guys, give me a second. Oh yeah, the internet like just crashed when I try to do that. Maybe I shouldn't do that, guys. If I email it to myself, then I can pull it up in Chrome. Chrome is just lagging. Oh man, that's painful, eh? I think it's painful. Almost there. Shit. Here we go. So now I just email it to myself. This is fun. Technology is great that I have to email some shit to myself to... What? What are you doing? Else having issues. What's going on? Time for a sip of that soda. Is there like sunspots or anything going around, guys, that I don't know about? Where did it go there? Oh. It was just being dumb. To me. Oh, Gallant. Send it to me. So much of a run around just to get a photo. Hey, at least I can, right? Lucas says, not sure we can go Sunday. Well, no Saturday. No problem. Went to check out the Tamashi. What was Tamashi Nation store like? I saw that a couple of the other homies from a different crew, same kind of homies, were there. Let's see. There's seeing some lag in the chat though. Right on. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Brownout. Internet brownout. Better than an internet brown eye. Perfecto. Here we go. All right. Let me share. That's this one. Presents. Screen. I see this? Maybe it's just download it and then I can show it from my shit. All right. We'll close that. I'll close this. Felt like how the Bandai booth is at cons with the glass cases and all the figure art stuff. Right on. I believe that. Where is it though? Questions. It's today. This is today. This is the picture. Hooray. Nice. Some of my other photos, but that doesn't matter. Present. Parents green. Bam. Oh yeah. Look at that thing. Look at that gallant. Wow. That's nice. That is nice. This is what I'm talking about with those turn wheels. Fancy. Which screen did I use? So, I used both. How's that for you? So the steering works in that. Yeah, some of the models they do. I don't know if this. I think the Hasegawa that I picked up a Hasegawa. This Strata Lancia. Oh, you can't see it. Hang on, let me get rid of Julian's picture. Later, Joker. I picked up this Lancia Strata Stradale, and it's so nutty. This thing is such a crazy. They made these like rally concept cars. They made these into rally concept cars. But this is a sweet Hasegawa. This is a 72, so we're going back in time, baby. It kind of has a GT. I have a GT as well. I have a Meng GT that I picked up because that is also super duper fun. Le Mans, you know. I have a bunch of stuff. I keep buying, you know how it is. But I think that this one, because of the construction, I think that I will have some level of steering because you assemble like shocks and struts and all of the whole like rotors and everything that's in the front of this. Like, it doesn't really have much of an engine, which is cool because they make cool resin aftermarket engines. But it doesn't really. This kit itself doesn't have that baked in, but it has a lot of infrastructure baked into the chassis, which is I think it's really really cool. I get excited about fun stuff like that. Yeah. So, but that stuff looks really, really good, and Julian did a great job on his build, I must say. Fantastic. Oh yeah, so this is what I did, Doku. I used this is the Mission Models Kiwi Pearl over. So it's a black under. I used a lot of this too because I ended up having to repaint it a bunch of times. I live on the shore. It's really dusty, and we just got a new cat. She's adorable, but also cat stuff. So, but yeah. So I started out with my standard black base. Like I do everything all black, whether it be a tank or a car or a plane or a Gundam. Doesn't matter what it is. I always start out with a full black base, or even figures, full black base. And then I highlight with my most favorite highlighting paint in the whole world, and I always talk about this, and I always will. Tim Gore's Bloodlines from Createx Old Bone White. These paints are more like illustrative inks than they are like acrylic paints. Like so they go down really really thin. You can get them transparent almost, or very very translucent. So you get the ability to really draw the highlights out of everywhere, and it allows you to control your light source a lot. So dudes out there doing zenithal shading, doing that kind of stuff, products like this, or you can make your regular old acrylic paint do the same kind of stuff that this does, but you have to add like flow improvers and retarders that slow down the drying time, because it allows the paint to flow a little bit more smoothly. And then if you add in a transparent extender also, which is something that nobody fucking talks about, but what that is, now we're going into paint now. We haven't talked about the colors. It's like this. Here we go. Oh god, here's one bottle of it. Createx. TEX, but yes, Createx. So that the same one that does all the Wicked and everything. Here's at the top. Createx, and there you say it says illustration colors. So it's more like for doing special effects stuff, makeups, and that. Their colors are really fun too. This one's called Old Bone White. There's one that's called what is it? Blunt Trauma. This one's Vascular Violet. This one's called Deep Bruise Purple, Vile Green. That one's all wiped off. Blood. What is this one called? Just Blood Red. Oh, Dove Red. This is Blood Red. I mean, yeah, Blunt Trauma, Umber. Just stuff like that. They're fun paints. If you watch some of the old videos from Adam Savage's tested stuff, when it was Norm and his cohort, he had like a kind of a doughy dude that used to hang around with him on his shows, and they had Frank Ippolito on to talk about airbrushing. And he brought in a few different things, and he really only used those paints. He brought in those Bloodlines paints, and that's what they were using to paint their figures or whatever. So check that out. It's in the Adam Savage tested YouTube analogs. It is literally like probably 5 or 6 years old though. So think about that. Or more even than 5 or 6. I just got some Citadel paints. I haven't cracked into them yet, but from Alicia Doku and Derek, her fiance, they hooked me up with a cool little set at our last hobby meeting. There was like a build day, and they were like really kind and brought through some cool shit that they had snagged at a different convention, and we built some Warhammer, and that came with like a little set with like 6 paints and these 2 figures and shit. It was pretty sweet. I haven't fucked with them yet, but aside from building them up that day, which is really fun. But yeah, so onto the paint stuff. Transparent extender. Golden transparent extender. So this will help make your thick paints thin. It adds a level of basically makes your shit thin and glossy. Just pretty cool. Yeah, well, Derek at least Dogu says that they haven't touched the stuff. She built up what was that? One of those it's not a Gundam, or it's like a Gundam, but it's made by Bandai. It's like all orange. Can't remember what it is. I think Tex made one as well a few years back. Can't remember what the fuck it's called. She'll know. She'll say it in a second, and then I'll chime in. But yeah, and then Derek did his little thing. He actually started painting though, so which was pretty rad. Like he was like, yeah, I just went out and bought some primer. It's like I didn't even think about it. Yeah, it was the RE100. Yeah, that's what Alicia was working on. But anyways, yeah, this stuff, you can get this stuff. This is made by Golden, so a lot of people don't really think about Golden paint company as being like big for airbrushing per se. They have a whole line of fluid colors that are actually pretty decent. They don't really, I mean, they're not the same as buying like a Vallejo or Ammo Mig, or definitely Tamiya or Mr. Gunzi or whatever, like, but they do have some good acrylics if you're out there. Let's see. Brandon says, Shokyu. There it is. Nice. I like how she wrote it phonetically. Appreciate it. Hey, Pabby. Oh, Pabs lost his voice? Man. No, that's cool. Pabs lost his voice. Julio worked all day. I know, because he works with me. Let me think. I haven't heard from Joel. Armida is out on the West Coast. What's up out on the West Coast, Tex? Let me think. Paul is home, but his AC fucking broke, so it's like a 9,000 degrees. I can join in if I need a person. I mean, I'm all right. I mean, not to say that I don't want you here to talk out, but I'm a rambling man, as it were. If you have something that you want to talk about and you want to come on and have a discussion, you're welcome to come on. Let's see. What I was going to say, let's see. Brandon says he picked up 36 Tamiya acrylics for free. A local Gundam Facebook page had a post saying, free, just pick them up. Had 6 posted, and he showed up and he handed him a big old bag. Wow. It's crazy. Hey, Julius, what's up, man? How are you doing? Good to hear from you. I put a little bit of time in the shed this week. Yesterday, in fact, I put some time into the shed. I had the day off of the regular work, because of had to go to the dentist, make sure I'm not going to lose any more teeth. Hey. And I'm not. It's good. Yeah, dorked around playing some video games, and then spent some time out doing yard work and taking care of the shed shit. Got a brand new trimmer and a brand new leaf blower. How fun is that to play with when you're like becoming a slowly nerdy old man? Habs and Chris and Brandon are all having high fives in the chat. And let's see, 35-minute drive each way, but it was worth it for 36 paints. Hey man, that's a paint a mile or minute. Paint a minute. Not bad. Oh, half a paint a minute. Paint every 2 minutes? Something like that. I'll figure it out. This stuff is good if you need to make your regular paints do other things. So, back to the car. Talking about greens. Black. Highlight with the whites. Hooray. Bob's your uncle. I had to go really light. When I first did it, it was too dark and too vibrant, like too much chiaroscuro, too much lights and darks that looked very cartoony when I laid the green down. So I had to go back and add more white. But anyways, that's part of the whole process. I stripped and did this thing several times already. On top of that, Createx white highlight, I did not just the kiwi green pearl from Mission Models, kiwi lime pearl, but it's actually kind of yellow out of the tin. All the tin's plastic bottle, out of the plastic bottle. Just that resin build if you want to go talk about that. And I added in a couple of drops of this other Mission Models paint called Russian Cockpit Emerald Green. And that actually blued up and it made it more of a green color. Yeah. Do this real quick. Oh, that music, baby, just hits me every time. Let's see here. The wonders of technology. I texted it to you, Alicia. If you want, I don't have your email, so that's what you get for now. Let's see what I missed out on the chat while I was playing with my phone. Yeah, Chris is talking about how he's ill. His new family, his wife, and his new baby boy are also ill. Oh, what do we have here? Julia Stemsky says, "Nice. I resemble the teeth thing. Wife is expressing interest in moving to Wilmington, North Carolina. It's a bit south from me. A bit, but not terribly. Carolina's all right. Colleen loves Carolinas. I haven't been, but I'm from the middle of the country, so that's not that big of a surprise." Let's see. Oh yes, Hebs has been slaving away editing the podcasts. The last couple of recordings were kind of like the one that's going to come out tomorrow here in like 4.5 hours or so. That one wasn't as bad as the one after that. The one that's going to drop after that was like a bit choppy, but it's good. It's a good conversation. I'm not going to talk about it much more than that. Guess I'll chime in, check it out. Both the Carolinas been several times. Nice, very nice. Yeah, I haven't been like vacation or doing anything fun in a while. And what this is, Alicia. You look so cute. Got your little mouse, your little bunny cat, your Helios.
Music, but I can't hear you.
Oh, I can hear you, but you're very quiet. Is the music too loud for you? How about now? No? Not any better? Check your she's not on right now, but maybe she's watching on the screen. Check your in your settings in your audio, there's probably a drop down list of all the different things that can be your earphones and your microphone. So that's the one thing. That's one thing that's really nice about StreamYard. I pay a little bit for it to use it. Like I pay a monthly subscription fee or whatever for it, which is fine because it allows me to keep a fair amount of storage. Plus, I get a few features, which is nice. And it allows me to use like a bunch of different cameras and a bunch of different mics and stuff if I really want to. That's kind of cool. Don't mind it. Yoku, she'll be back. I'm sure she'll be back. Just a little technical error. I need to get one of those like old timey. What did I say? I need to get one of those old timey things where it's like a bird flying into an antenna or something, where it's like technical errors. Can you hear me now? No. Yes. Just typing. I don't know why I can only hear music. I don't know why either. I think everybody else out there can hear me. Is right.
That's annoying.
I think so. Everybody out there can hear me, can't you? Hang on a second. Is my mic dead?
I can hear you through Twitch, but I can't hear you in the thing. And
Okay, cool. No, my mic cord is okay. Yeah, my microphone's being picked up. I can hear you.
Not through here.
Yeah, I can hear you through.
That's so funny.
It is weird. Is it because my audio is coming out? No, it would make no sense. They wouldn't be. That doesn't make any sense. And there's going to be like a 40-second delay. There it is. There it is. Oh, I love it. Thanks, Brandon. Nice to hear that there's clear. Thanks, Zach.
I'll just leave.
Okay, we'll do this again. We'll get you back. We'll figure it out.
I'll be back.
Awesome. There, she's heard it. That's cool. Wow, what a thing. See, technology this evening, I swear. Is there like sunspots or moon spots or something going on? Is like Saturn's crux in the crotch of Uranus or something? I don't fucking know. Pro streamer right there. Hey, baby. Who's the pro streamer? Nobody. Hilarious. That's okay. Hey, we tried. I'm looking forward to hear what you got to say, and you're welcome to come back next week and talk about it on the next Workbench live stream. No problem. Just hit me up. Like Jeff does when he hits me up before he's like showing his massive Gundam head. That thing is crazy cool. Okay, so pinstripes. I feel like that's probably my easiest solution. Plus, it will help make the car go faster, right? The racing stripes. That's what it does. I think that's what it does. Makes the car go faster. I don't know what color I'm going to use though on top of it. I want it to be flat. I don't want it to be shiny. I want it to be like a, want it to look like it's like a vinyl or something, but I don't want it to be like the paint to be so ungodly thick that it like just looks bad, like a hard tape edge or some fuzzy fucked off tape edge. Nobody wants that. What do I do? That's why I was saying it's cool that I have a little bit of time. I can maybe pick something up down at AAA, in person to help out, get some panel liner. You guys got panel liner, Zach? Just go asking for a friend. So here's one thing that I noticed about mission model paints. I don't know if a lot of you people out there use them. There's a lot of the dudes in the hobby that like cry about mission models. They don't like it. They're like, don't use mission models. Use MRP. Only use MRP. Hey, Will doesn't watch my show, but I'm talking about Will Pattison. Motherfucker. And like Tamiya. Yeah, like Tamiya. But so mission model paints, there used to be two distinct differences between them. They both had black caps, but there was two different types of labels that were. So one label was a little bit more ornate, one was a little bit more modern. The ornate ones were the original mission models paints, and those paints were actually very thick. They came out of the tube or out of the dropper like as more of a gelatinous glob, and you definitely needed to thin them, and that's why they originally came out with their polymer and their thinner or reducer combo, that the two bottles that they proprietized with their paint, which is cool because kind of like adds a hardener aspect to the paint, as well as gives you a good base to thin. It's molecularly designed to go along with their own paint, so it makes sense. I don't do that. I do my own thing, but that's okay because that's what I do. I break the rules. But one thing I did notice is that old paint, like I said, was really thick. They came out with a newer version, like that one with a newer label, and then that one wasn't quite as thick. It thinned just as well, but it didn't need as much thinner. So it was more like almost like they reduced the paint, like they added a little bit. I don't know if it was like less pigment and carrier and all that, or more carrier or something along those lines to, like, but they didn't lose opacity. Like the paint opacity is never been a question, and it isn't chalky like Ammo Migs acrylics can be kind of chalky and a little bit like thick. At least I found them to be. This stuff still goes on really thin, and you can actually thin it to the point where it is a little bit translucent, which is why I like that transparent extender. So new thing, the white lid. These, you can hear it. It sounds kind of gross, or a little bit suggestive if your mind's in the gutter, like mine must be. But they're much thinner than some of these other ones, like this emerald green that I just popped up here. This Russian one, you can see how there's like a distinct line where there's all this pigment, and there's like kind of a mid-mix zone, and then there's just like the carrier, and so this is more like the carrier, and it's like the thinner up here, and you have to shake the holy piss out of it to get it to blend or to mix up or whatever. These ones you don't have to, which is nice. Now you'll notice this one's black, so give me a little bit of trouble. Anyways, so like I said, pearl kiwi, couple of drops of emerald green, bringing it back to the paint again, for the Porsche, the pearl green, and a little bit of the emerald. Then those went down in transparent layers, and I did like probably 3 or 4 different transparent layers or translucent layers on top to build up the depth of color. And on top of that, I clear coated it, and I just straight gloss coated it, and I put like 3 coats of gloss on top of that. And then on top of that, I sprayed full value all clad lacquer candy lime, because that color, even though I blued it up with the acrylic, it was still very yellow, and it just like, it wasn't giving me green, it was just giving me limes, or not limes, but like lemons, and I wanted limes. So yeah, I went on with this, which at first was way too dark. If you just did it base. Let's see. Got a little jacked up. That's cool. So this is the variety of the lime on different bases. You can see they're all very slightly different. All different kinds of stuff. Acrylic, lacquer, all that shit. This was the pearl from Mission Models. And then this is the pearl, or the green, the transparent green, candy lime. Damn it, use my words. Candy lime over acrylic base, Modo, and then all clad chromey base. So as you can see, there's nice depth. That green is more like, it's more like green, like Kelly green, or like because I have this other green that I used. This one is one I used on the Nova. This is from Modo, and it's their clear green. It is literally meant to be like a clear Kelly green, and it is very, very straightforward. If you guys have seen the pictures of my Nova, it's in the gram. I really didn't take a lot of photos of that. I was just turning and burning at that time, trying to get shit done. But anyways, so I wanted to, to green it up a little bit, and I was able to use that transparent lacquer, and it adhered really nicely to the gloss that laid down. Hell yeah, right? Even the tone out on the paint was able to help kind of color match all the different panels and stuff. And then when that cured, what I did is I went on top of it again with that gloss, but not just the gloss. I did the gloss 50-50 with the clear green again. So it was like clear green, but it was like thinned down, but it was a lot of the Mr. Gloss in there. Laid the GX down, nice wet coat, super duper wet coat. Let that pop off, and then another coat on top of that of just regular clear, like just regular clear gloss on top of that to get layers up. Would you go? Chris says, here's a tip for my clear color lacquer fellows. To make a clear a lighter shade, add clear gloss to dilute. Huh. That's good. We're on the same wavelength. Yeah, so basically what I just did, what I was just talking about, Chris is seconding, which is always great to have a little bias confirmation. Oh, you want to come back on? Jump right in. Link still works. Waiting for it. There she is. All right. We're all thumbs up.
I had to change browsers.
Ah.
I had to go from Firefox to Chrome.
Oh yeah, the heavy user, the heavy lifter, Chrome.
It actually said in the settings when I went to the speaker part, it said this is not compatible with this browser. So,
well, there you go.
That could be why.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to the show.
Hello. So I did my first complete resin build.
Fantastic.
And I was very scared because I had to do the sanding and the wearing the face mask and
you had to use glue.
Glue. Oh, yep.
You hate glue.
I hate glue. It was like what?
It's all right though.
It was very scary. But I think I did pretty well for my first time, like actual, like real attempt at trying to do things right. With it.
Okay. Remind me what you were building.
I was building a waifu kit. It was
Is it something you can show?
Yeah. She's not naked.
It's cool.
She's not
Kyle
naked.
Thing. I was like, here's my model, has his finger in front of it or something.
No, she's in a bunny suit.
Oh, that's cool. Those are fun. That's classic.
So let's see if I can pick.
I doubt she ate the resin. Nerds.
So this is what.
Okay.
So it's what she first looked like.
Oh, that's super traditional.
Yeah, this is 30. I think it said it was like 35 years old or something like that.
Oh, cool. I was 9.
So this is a bootleg of what the actual one's supposed to be.
Yeah, because you can't get them anymore, right?
Well, even that is that this the original was a vinyl kit.
Oh shit.
So so my friend kind of gave this to me as a project to work on, and he's like, I've had this for 30 something years. I don't know what to do with her. And I was like, oh, let me work on her. I've never done it before, let me try. And so when I looked online for her, he didn't have directions. He didn't have the box anymore. He just had it literally like in a bag, things. So I'm assuming that it was the vinyl one. So I looked it up and this and that. And the vinyl one is like a high grade size. She is a monster.
Oh.
She's like probably this tall.
Wow. I can't tell how big that is, but I bet that's pretty big. That's your standard master's booth. Got you.
So that's all the paints I chose for the project.
Fantastic. Did you guys get any filters yet? No.
Nope. So that's her all primed and cleaned up.
Yo, she is a beast.
Can you see how big? I guess that's better.
Yes. That's huge. Where's my tape measure? Because I have the booth right here next to me. So she's like a good like 8 or 9 inches from like hip to head, maybe 10 inches from hip to head. That's wild.
So, and this is my first time doing like really, like the putty. You could kind of see it on her hip, like her hip there, cleaning up the seam lines, and she was like a cold cast. So she's like not porcelain, but it felt like porcelain. She was like really, really heavy. She was definitely over like 5 pounds in weight.
Got you.
Parts were broken on her that he didn't tell me about. So like, see, she was missing her hand.
Right.
So that broke off. She had like bunny ears that broke off.
Not
the
probably
little...
nodding. Were they included? Do you have the parts?
Yeah, I do have it. I basically had to glue it back together and repair it. And
sweet.
This
I wonder. Do you have Zach is asking, do you have any idea what anime this might be from?
Yurusei Yatsura. She's Lum. She's that girl that you usually see in the yellow bikini, the really old school, the same creator drama. She wears like a yellow bikini with the green hair. This is her in a outfit she doesn't even wear. Like just an original, garage kit type of thing.
Dude, this is some of the shit that my cousin was introducing me to, like back when I was a little kid. Like Ranma 1/2, he was giving me like in full Japanese, like here's, and told me how to read it. He's like, you're not going to be able to read the words, but you can read the pictures. And I was like, you're right, I can read the pictures. But yeah, that's tight. Sweet. Okay, carry on.
So then this is before like detailing. This is like the base of her.
Nice. It comes with the cool pillows too. That's sweet.
Yeah, and that thing was like a freaking brick. Like literally, it's like a heavy. Oh, she's sitting on it. I can't even show it. Because she's too heavy. I airbrushed the leggies, and then I airbrushed the skin, but then I hand painted everything else. Because, like, as you saw, like a lot of it is like she's already connected, so it was really hard to like piece it.
Oh yeah, you have to mask and do all sorts of crazy shit if you want to use your airbrush. Anyway.
Then this is like a close up. Then I try to give like her like some like little shadowing.
Sure.
And that's it of the pictures of her I have. But I wanted to go over like, like I said, like I understand it's not the best and it's not, but I think I did pretty well for my first time trying to do something like this.
Sure.
It's definitely different.
Yeah, like, you can always work on it more too if you want to. Like if you find out a new technique or something you want to try out, you can always change your job or paint job on it a little bit if you want. That's the one thing that's really cool about figures and why I'm not super scared about getting into the ones that I have, because I know that if it isn't quite right, well, at least I got where I got to. I can always start over. This is a larger project, I understand, so maybe not a thing you're going to want to like strip down to the bare bones and go back over like a like a 35 millimeter figure or like even a 75 millimeter figure. But that's really cool.
And he definitely like my friend's like so happy about, because like it was originally he's had it like that for 30 something years.
Just a funky pile of parts.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't even know what that pillow thing is. It's weird looking, but
yeah, it's two literally just floor pillows, floor cushions, like it's on it. Chris says, Resonate, you should be proud. Those old school casts are always rough and it's never easy. Well done. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. I mean, like I said, like I don't mind tips or feedback on it. Like I said, like it's definitely I don't mind learning if you guys have any comments. Like, but it is my first time, so
yeah, no one's like no one would be passing any like weird harsh judgment or any like weird crap like that. Like it would all just be commentary from a good place.
And I try to, you could probably kind of see like on her mouth, like I try to give, like a little lipstick on the mouth and try to give her a little eyeshadow and little I know like one person suggested maybe I should try to do like sort of like a wash perhaps like on the
maybe, but washes like aren't always the answer. I would say try playing hey Chris, what's up? Oh, thanks for like dropping a like. I would say maybe try playing around with some different colors. Maybe look at a couple of different like ways, like I don't know, visual tutorials, like step-by-step photo tutorials of how people apply color. My buddy Mike Hillary, who was at MFCA last year, he is like a gold medal painter, and he showed me some cool shit. How he was just like, I did this and I did this, then I did this, then I did this, then I did this and this and this and this and this, and here's what I got to here. And I was like, oh fuck, that's really cool. I would never thought of that unless you just showed me right now and blew mind, and that's cool shit. I haven't done anything that large or
Yeah.
yeah. Well done.
Definitely ambitious.
Absolutely, yeah. Kudos to you. Maybe we'll get you to build something like a, I don't know, a car or something someday. You're like, fuck no.
With glue.
Yeah. Get you one of those cool Aoshima kits, and then get you like a sick decal set that looks like some wild like anime like body art or something like that on the whole thing.
There is the eggplane girl, the Hasagawa, like the eggplane girls. They do have cars.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have like giant waifu decals. I saw one that's like a buggy one.
Watch you. Oh, they're Hasagawa, right?
Yeah. And then it was like an old school like Volkswagen-y type love van looking thing that I've seen that had some waifu decals on it.
It's not gonna like when you're saying chibi. Oh, it just went to. I have those Mechatros. Here we go. Eggplane. What else?
Trying to think, what would it?
I could just look at Hasagawa like just as it was and go from there. I'm being weird. That's somebody wrote in the chat and I just haven't paid attention to it. Dude, if I can do a car, anyone can do a car, says Chris, because he literally is just doing a car right now for the first, like I think for the first time. Just Hasagawa model. There we go.
Oh, I found it.
Okay. What you got?
It's called Volkswagen Type 2 Delivery Van Egg Girl Summer.
Wow. Wow. All right. I'm on the Hasagawa site. I got my credit card in hand. No, just kidding. It's gonna be under cars.
Do you want me to do like a blue flame detail on the hood, or
you can do
turn the
whatever
tires?
You want. That's the thing.
Lime kiwi pearl, bone green.
What? Wait a minute. What was it called again?
It's Hasagawa. Volkswagen Type 2 number 2 delivery van.
There it is, Volkswagen Type 2.
And there's like this blue one.
Oh yeah. Oh, Type 2, is it the van with the fire pattern? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Ow.
I had a fire pattern blue one on it. Same color, it's orange like yours. You know, could put a blue flame.
Yeah. Nice. They got all. Look at this. They got this 66 American coupe Type B with blonde. It says. Hilarious. That's just Hobby Link. I don't know. Is that Hasagawa? Yeah, that's Hasagawa. Shit.
Oh my god, we should all do for next Mosquito Con, like have all waifu cars.
This one's cute though. The one I was looking at before was a van, and it was very much like pinup. The one that you are talking about though, the VW Beetle Type 1 or Type 2 for that matter, whichever it is. That's this one's cute. It's actually like got a little class to it. Oh, we got a little Subaru 360. I should be sharing the screen. No one knows what I'm looking at.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Chris says you put a nice finish. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Chris did put a nice finish on that car, or he's working on it anyway. Is it? No, it's this. Yes. See, this one's nice. She looks charming, albeit a little bit undersculpted, but
yeah, it has a little weird face, but the body's okay. Like,
yeah, you can fix that. Probably.
The red's kind of cool. I like that color red.
This is the other one I was talking about, the Type 1. You said the Type 2. Right?
Oh, it has little
Kinda
gas
cool, right?
tanks.
Yeah, yeah, little gas tanks. You got a little emblem right on the side. That's kind of cute.
Would you build those?
Of course, I'll build anything. This is the one I was talking about because this is the Volkswagen Type 2, and I was like, what?
No, well, there was girls on bikini, but they're anime girl bikini. Not this one's like a human.
Yeah, that's like a human. This is the other one. I was like, whoa, what?
The other one's like that girl's legs were spread open. That you just
Yeah,
kind
I
of
know. Like, yeah, we're just gonna leave that one on the. Just gonna get that one on the screen if I can avoid it a little bit. There we go.
That's the later content, the after dark.
Yeah, right. When we get off the screen, no way. Oh, sweet 63 Corvette. No, I've been like, there's so many fun things that you can do with, just with like different IPs. So I like watching music videos and listening to music, right? So there's this band that I like called Carpenter Brut. They're like a French electro band of sorts, and they have this song called Turbo Killer. And in it, there's like a bunch of like 80s era cars and some crazy iconography kind of stuff that goes down. So there's this Corvette Stingray, and the driver of the Corvette Stingray is this like crazy hooded person in like a gas mask, and he's like the protagonist of it, and he's like got a weird kind of like relationship with the car, and the car's kind of like a girl and it's also a car, and it's really kind of weird how the whole like thing works. I should share the video so that people can see it. We're not going to play it because it will the video will get taken down. If those images from the Hasegawa site don't do it, then I don't know anyway, or from the Hobby Link site. But yeah, so it's really cool. Anyways, I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, that'd be kick-ass to do like a kind of a themed diorama or like a vignette of the Stingray with the driver and the crazy things, like do some cool color stuff where like the eyes glow on the mask or something like that, because they do that in the video. And there's like all this other like different kind of cross iconography and stuff going on with all this like red and black, and it's all crazy. But that could be kind of cool to do like a little vignette or box diorama or something like that with the Stingray and that, or like any of the other cool things that you see out there. The world's your oyster, right?
So how would you describe the difference between diorama and vignette?
How would I describe the difference between a diorama and a vignette?
Because it's like a cover letter and a CV and a resume. It's kind of like similar things, but there's differences.
Sort of, yeah. You're right. No, you're absolutely right. That's actually a really good analogy too, because of how complex all of those things are, and how much they're related, but at the same time they can be kind of very different. I think of a vignette as more like, so they're both like snapshots. Diorama and a vignette are snapshots, but a diorama I feel is much more involved. They tend to be much larger, have multiple vehicles, multiple figures, telling a full-on story or a scene. Whereas like a vignette, it's usually pretty small, 6 inches, 8 inches, something like that. And they usually tend to be like, have like one figure and one vehicle, or just one of those two, telling much more of an abbreviated sort of story. It's like if you're looking at like Lego, there's like a few different ways you can do Lego builds, like mocks, my own creations. And there's like some that are meant to be like, they're specifically designed. The creations are only made within like a certain size pattern or a certain size square, and like they only contain like certain, and they're totally themed after it, and they're wildly creative and fantastically done. And they all tell these whole stories and shit. Those are more like your vignettes. And then when you have like your big castle pieces, even if they're made like miniature style, where they're like implying all this architecture with small pieces meant to be seen from a distance, that's more like a vignette, in my opinion. Or like the more grander scale. That's what I think. What does the chat say? No one's saying anything.
No one's saying. I was hoping that's what I was kind of like. Let's see if anyone agrees, because like I noticed that at like the shows, like there's diorama section and vignette, and then I asked like someone, and I'm like, what's, and they're like, I think it's the same thing. That's how someone told me. So I'm like, that didn't actually answer my question. So
right, yeah.
So you would say, like, for example, like, let's say I just had this random guy here. You would have him in like a shoebox, like a literal shoebox with like black fabric to represent.
Well, that's more like a box diorama.
Okay, so that's a different. You would say that's
an entirely different thing. A box diorama is like a focused view.
Okay, vignette. Yeah. That's
right?
how I
Where
would.
they're
Okay.
they're really controlling what the viewer sees. You're only getting like a small window to look into this box of, wonder, and it makes like a
Mhm.
whole interior thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't like we called them shadow boxes when I was a little kid. We made them in school and stuff for projects and things like, you read the story, you got to do a thing or whatever. Um, but there's a whole craft to it, and then seeing that stuff at MFCA down
Mhm.
there by AAA was just like eye-opening to see all of the different figure work, for one, all the little busts and the figures and all that kind
Yeah,
of
that
stuff.
was cool.
Then but then to see the box dioramas too is really like intense, to see like that real shit. Is it a moving diorama? Some of them have moving parts, but most of the time I don't think they do. Though a lot of times they'll have like lighting inside and
Yeah, that's what
atmospheric
I've seen
stuff, but
too.
yeah, but it isn't like a whole lot. I mean, I suppose they can. I don't know. Shep Payne, RIP, was like the big man for box dioramas, and I have yet to see any of his shit. But I know that Barry and Jim from the Small Subjects podcast, whom I'm kind of friends with, they have collections of his stuff, and yeah, it'd be cool to check some of it out, because I've seen the ones that I saw at the show were really cool. They're like historical or like fantasy. So there's one with like a goblin dude and this whole like door front, this cool alleyway. It's all really well lit. It's really cool.
So would you say then, like, for example, the one guy that year that did the Yamato ship, the one that won the everyone's favorite one that won
Nigel?
Best of Show? Yeah.
Nigel?
And
Yeah.
with the ocean, would the ocean be a diorama, even though it's just the ocean that he detailed? Or would that be a vignette? Even though it was a giant piece, right? It was a pretty big piece. Would
Good
you consider
question.
that
I don't know if
diorama
that kind of
or
groundwork. I don't think that. I don't know. I think that would probably just be considered part of the base,
okay.
right? Over it being like a full on like scenic diorama. Like you'll see like the ships, like if you're at MosquitoCon or whatever, you see the subs or the ships. A lot of times they'll be waterline style, where they're like submerged in water, or like
Mhm.
whatever. Johanny did one of those. Strider Prime, for those of you out there in the chat that don't know who that is, he did one of those where he went through and he did the whole like the technique where he made like the water ripples off of it, and he did like a Missouri, or I can't remember what ship it was exactly that he made, but yeah, same kind of philosophy. I think that's just considered part of the basing. It'd be the same as like building a tank, right? And then you put
Mhm.
the tank on not just a regular slab, like a regular block of wood or something, like I've done in the past, but you take time and you do like groundwork where you add like some sand and some branches and some stuff, and like maybe some shovels and some shit and some tracks and some other things like that, like footprints and stuff like that. That's more just the base, less of it being like a full vignette, which would be more of telling a story. I
Okay.
think that's just my opinion now. Let's see.
I
Peb
think
says,
that's fair. I think it's fair.
there you go. Peb says it's bordering vignette. It doesn't narrate, but it does place it in a situation. Read there. Yeah, Pappy, I pulled out the McGuire's on my car. Started shining because I got to get the boat on the road. So I got my 2 flavors of McGuire's. Yay!
Yummy.
Yay! Try not to eat it, but that sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't. Let's see. Got to work on the DeLorean. I haven't done much to it. I haven't done anything since we last talked about it, actually. Well, blistered.
Is there anything to show, or you have nothing really to show?
I mean, it's all the same. It's all the same. All the same. Yeah, I'm at the point where I need to paint this again. No, yeah. I actually, yeah, because last time I was on the show, this was painted white by brush, and I stripped it and painted it back to primer because it was bad. It looked very bad.
What part is that?
This is the time circuit control switch. It's all covered in masking tape.
Gotcha.
That I built from scratch. Yeah, it says my scratch build, or mostly scratch build. Here's the little bit of the gold.
Oh, I see it now.
Shiny,
Yeah.
Shiny. Yeah, I gotta make
Very
it shine
shiny.
to make it stand out. Yeah, super shiny. That was brush painted, but it turned out okay. The white did not. That's okay. I'll airbrush it. I don't give a fuck. I just gotta like mask this, like all these tiny little detail things, you know. So I've got to like do a bunch of careful masking. I just ordered a new stick stack of my Nichiban tape. So I'll have more of that. I just got some. What did you buy today, Brian? I got more of my Zona. This is the blue flavor papers. This one is not super high grit. This was 1800 grit. Yeah, so this is 1800 grit, but it's like a cloth. It's like a cloth paper instead of like paper. I have like a whole bunch of different kinds. So I have these all like you can buy them in a pack, or you can buy them in individual like packs, like all this. So you can multi-pack or Lido Dallas or Corbin Dallas. And they're good. The like the multi-pack is really good if you don't know if you want to mess with that level of sanding. But the sanding paper or the sanding cloths start at 600 grit and they go up to 14,000.
Oh.
So you can get really, really, really high shine. You don't really need that much of the high end stuff. It's more like you're burning through the grunt stuff, which is like these colors, and actually the blue goes in between the gray and the pink. So I ran out of blue completely, so I had to buy new stuff. But that stuff's good.
Did you buy any airbrush filter?
No, dude, I'm telling you. Here, we're taking on a trip. Do that. Right there. Do that right there. That's all you gotta do. Slices and slices and slices of freaking cardboard. Stack it up. It's thick. It's like probably about that. The strips are probably about that wide, about 1.5 inches wide. And all it does is it's just lets the air through and it lets the paint stick to something. And I have to go take a brush. I have to take a paintbrush and like brush it off like a chip.
I do vacuum. I use the vacuum cleaner to.
There's my dirty brush. Then you gotta clean your vacuum. I just use the dirty brush like this. And I let it, because after it dries into the powder, then I turn the fan on and I do this and it just goes out into nature. We're back from whence it came. In nature. No, I take care of my grounds around my house. Don't worry. What do we have? Julie says, Brian, do you use that Zona on the final clear coat or with the primer coats also? Yes, I use it for everything. I use it on my bare plastic kits. I use it for all the that's why I burn through so much of it, because I've gone through 2 packs of it already, 2 multi-packs, and this is what I'm down to. So I have like backed up white, backed up baby blue, but I'm basically burned through all of my heavier grit stuff, just using it on all sorts of things. And it's really, really good for final sanding, but I use a lot of different kind of sanding stuff. Like I got these dirt cheap sanding sticks on Amazon. They're basically just like glorified emery boards, and they're just like all these different colors, all these different grits, and they're just so dirt cheap that couldn't like really pass them up. A lot of them not super duper usable for fine plastic stuff, but they're great for woodworking. So I do that too, which is fun, and that's great. But I also use, what else do I use? Those ones, Stevens International, AAA again. I have a handful of their sticks.
I know you grabbed a bunch while I was there that time.
In my hand. Plus
they were only
more.
Like 25 cents. They were like 25, 50 cents. It's not even that bad.
Plus more. This is a whole bag full of 320 grits. And then I have a couple of packs of multis. And then I also will just use those freaking nail ones from the salon. They're called Tropical Breeze or something like that.
I like the cubes because it has like the different, different grits on the cube. Yep, there you go. Yep.
These ones here is Tropical Shine. Here you go.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, it's the same, basically the same kind of shit, but they're like grits on 2 different sides: 400, 600, 220, and 320. And then there's always there's more, because there's always more. I have a variety of these guys too. the 3M sanding sponges. I also have the 1500, but it's not opened up yet. I have cases of those reserved on Amazon to use. Oh, I got some more weird shit. These are. I wish that there was better sand grip for these. I've showed these off before. These guys. I wish that there was better. As you can see, I've used it. It's got some buildup on it, but you just rotate it around the belt. Rotates around. It's got a spring in it, so it holds it tight all the time. You got this sanding deal. It's round on this end, so you can get around shit. It's kind of cool, but the belts are just coarse as holy heck.
You're getting like losing blood. Your stick's starting to get some red on it. You're like
it's slippery to hold on to. You just burn yourself. No, but it's like 80, 120, 180, and 240. Well, that's like okay if you're doing hobby shit like making a birdhouse. I'm trying to make a Porsche.
Yeah, that's a little too strong.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
There's a store. There's have you ever heard of the store that's like really popular? Daiso, the Japanese dollar store that's like going around.
I have heard of Daiso.
So they slowly have been like doing hobby things. Like you get like metal filers, like a set, like like the curved one and straight ones. They have little baby pin vices by Jeff. And they did a couple years ago, they don't have anymore. They had like the sponges, like the sanding sponges and stuff like that. But the newest one now is that they have like the AK style sheets, like the different grit sheets for $1. They have a whole set, like from 240 grit till 1200 whatever. And I'm like, so I've been getting those as my sheets, but I also have like sponges and stuff, and like you got my nail, But check those guys. If you guys have a Daiso in your area, check out the tools section. Like I said, they have the little baby pin vise for $1. Got the metal filers. They have now little cutting mats, little baby like $1 cutting mats, and the sandpapers. Check those out.
Sweet, right on. Good tips. Thank you. What's Thomas Adams says? What's the best grip for sanding nub marks? 2 cuts on a nipper. 2 different grits of file. You're talking to the wrong monster.
I agree with the two snip also.
Yeah, 2 different. So I'll use these ones as an example. These are from Zach out there galactic. Zach, I don't know if you guys have started your shit, but you need to get your nippers out there because they're damn nice. These are protos. This is your standard like double cut, right? So you just do this one to hog it. Yeah, you just do that to hog it off the sprue with a little bit of room from the gate, and then a nice little side single cut. Nippy. And then that is where you make your finish cut with. And that should pretty much get you right about down there. Now, after that, you can kind of do a number of different things. I really just prefer, I have like a really nice, this cost 99 cents or 50 cents or something like that. I can't remember, but I got this. It is just a really, really fine grit. You can see it there, how fine the grit is on it. Just a regular flat file, just a normal ass flat file. They sell a bunch of different kinds of them. I mean, they make I have a whole slew of them here. And to me, it even sells a set of them. But those ones are actually pretty coarse. That's this set right here. Right, they look like this, and you get your regular flat, you get like a round, and then you get a half round taper, which is, I'll do it like this so that it doesn't show my face. You can kind of see, so it's like half round, and then it's flat on the back side. So flat on one side, half round on the other, comes down to a point in the end. And these are actually bastard files. So what a bastard file is, when we talk about files, is a bastard file is a file that has, so it's a type of, so you have first cut files, which this is a first cut file. This is considered like a first cut file. So as you can see, it only has like one tooth, like or one cut for the tooth, and it is like heckin' coarse. Very, very,
wow.
Very coarse for hogging like lots and lots of material away. Let me put this down. Anything on the workbench?
Wow, I can see. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's deep. Yeah.
Yeah, how gnarly the teeth are, which is great. Like you can. That's the soft part of my thumb. And so that's considered a first cut file. Then you have a second cut file, which is a little bit less coarse than that. And then you have bastard file, which is oh wait, no, I'll take that back. First cut, bastard, then it's second cut. So bastard file is slightly coarser, but not quite, not as smooth, you know. Anyway, so it just basically is considered it's a grade of file, but they're dual cuts. It's got teeth that go like this. All the cuts go back and forth, so it makes like a a lattice instead of that one, which is just single. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's going to do it because of how close it is, but you can kind of see it doesn't want to. Yeah, you can kind of see down here towards the bottom of the bottom of the teeth, right? You can see how there's the one color and then it gets darker.
Yeah.
This is the one direction of cut, and this is the other. So you can see that this one is going this way, and then the other one is going this way.
That way. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, back. And that's where you get your two cross cuts. But these are very aggressive. They work well, but they're super strong, and they'll fuck your model up really bad if you're not careful. So you got to watch out. Even if it's made by a fancy Tamiya company, you got to make sure that you're careful with what you're using. Let's see. Oh, he's been using the USAX 2.0. Those are great. Single cut nippers. And he has. Oh, you have some files like this with handles, right? Is that what he's saying, or what do you think?
I think he meant mine, because I showed my God hand. So I have the.
Oh, nice.
So I have the fatty God hand for my first cut, and then the other one for my second cut.
It's you with all the God hands.
And I have the God hand nipper holder.
Here's mine.
That you're never gonna use, right?
They still have the staple in them.
You should give it to Derek because his broke.
I know. It's still got the seal. It's still got the sticker seal at the top. It's still sealed. I got these from Zach actually, and he does a lot of good talking with those fine folks over there at God Hand, which is pretty rad. There's a toy fair coming up. Did you know that? Okay. I keep hearing about it and I always forget about it. And then Zach is like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at the toy fair before I'm at Comic-Con." And I'm like, miss it.
I was supposed to be there with my old job, but not anymore.
Right, because you did the whole plushie thing.
Like I actually helped purchase the booth and the setup before I left. So like I hope that they have.
Oh wow! So you at least set them up.
Yeah, so they have two.
Oh, nice.
This year they have two booths, one on one floor, right. One on the second floor.
Oh, really? So they have one at Artist Alley? Or no? Where is it? Is it in Javits? So
it's in the Javits. Yeah. There's like one floor. There's one giant table and one tiny table.
I've got Comic-Con and the Toy Fair mixed in my head too. I've never been to the Toy Fair, so I don't know what it's like.
I was gonna say, because Toy Fair is technically for trade shows, so I don't know if normal people
even gets to go.
I mean, there might, unless you knew people with pass, like press.
Right. I mean, yeah.
I hear it's pretty easy to get in that way, from what I've been told.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Influencer, and get.
Sure.
But yeah, Comic-Con's coming up. Anime NYC's coming up.
Right. I haven't been to Anime NYC since. Oh my goodness, when was that? 2018.
A long time ago.
That was 5 years ago. What the heck?
You need to go. It was really good last year. The booth, the Gundam booth, was pretty good.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Had a lot of goodies.
That's cool. I went to Comic-Con a couple days. Went like Friday, Saturday last year.
Comic-Con's usually like 3-4 days.
Yep. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Let me check.
Thursday's usually just a half day, though.
October for New York Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's in a couple weeks. And Toy Fair is the week prior. Just that fast. That would be cool though. I
Lorenz
gotta go
asked,
to a trade show.
Lorenz asked any tips on maintaining files.
Yeah. Betcha. Mister. First thing, don't draw your file backwards. Has teeth, it's meant to be cut a certain direction. Don't saw with your file. People do it all the time. You'll see professionals do it. You'll see guys that you think know how the fuck they're doing. You do that with the file, and every time they do it, I want to slap them. I want to slap Adam Savage for using a file improperly. How about that? Because I got standards. No, but the other thing you should do, so don't draw it backwards, which is fine. Make sure you're trying to keep it clean pretty regularly. You can do that a couple of different ways. It's pretty easy. You can get a number of different brushes that you can use. This one is made by Nicholson. It's pretty old. I've had it for a while. It's missing a bunch of teeth on the end, and as you can see, it's pretty hairy. But this is just a standard Nicholson file cleaning brush. And just like anything, this is your knife edge double cut Nicholson. You just hold the file in your hand or against your leg or whatever, and then brush with the grain both directions to make sure that you're removing all of the stuff. These teeth are curved back. You can't see it because the fidelity is doo-doo. You can kind of see it there. But they bend one way and they bend back the other way so that they're meant to be a little bit springy, and it'll help to dig the stuff out. So you're really drawing the material out as you draw the brush backwards across the file. That works for metal, it works for wood, it works for plastic, it works for everything. But this is a little bit aggressive. It might be a little heinous for some people. You can get smaller brushes. I don't know. This one might not really work. This is nylon. This is for cleaning paint tubes and stuff, but a brush similar to this might work. A tile brush would work. Anything with like a kind of a coarser bristle that's still got kind of a finer head to it. But yeah, really, you can't go wrong without the Nicholson. They used to be cheap. I don't know. Everything costs so much now. I have no idea what they cost. They used to be cheap. Let me go on Jeff Bozo and find out what they cost right now.
I have the little brush like that, the little cleaning brush, the little
yeah.
That's what I have. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll work. You can get it to brush your files out, and then also, I will take my files and I will whip them on my thigh, which sounds weird, but you can take them and just like knock the dust out of your file by hitting it on your jeans. And,
that's for a different podcast, though.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Hey, Mike. Mike says he's happy to see you.
Mike Huffnagel. What's up? I'm always on. Never. No, actually. So Nicholson file brush. They are. Oh, that one's fancy. Where's the cheapy ones? I guess that one is. Jesus, they're expensive. They're like around $15. Here we go. This will work. File card brush, 8-inch file card. What? I love the terrible translation. This will do ya. This is a $7 brush. Brand generic. File card and brush. Says.
What about for poor hobby people who will use like a toothbrush? Would you be opposed to toothbrush method or?
You could use toothbrush. The problem with toothbrushes is most of the time they're way soft bristle. Like I like a more of a coarse bristle brush. I'm a big guy, big teeth. So, but the softer bristle brushes like these guys that the dentist always tries to pawn off on you. They're good for cleaning dust out of models and stuff, but I don't know necessarily because they're going to get worn out is my thing with the file. It'll work probably for a while, but I think that the longevity isn't super high. Now, depending on how fast you go through your toothbrushes, you may need to redo that. I got this 8 years ago. So you could spend $7 once or you can just keep recycling your toothbrushes into your file cleaners. There's a lot of options, kind of you can explore stuff out there. Just look up like a, file brush, for that kind of a dilly. Usually works. I'm gonna slap myself every time I pull back. Oh my goodness.
Modeling advice for Brian.
Just like this. You bunch of macaroons. Old toothbrushes. Thumbs up.
Speaking of filers, how do you feel about the good old everyone who is lazy and wants to use a glass file razors and all those? I feel they're the lazy way, but that is my personal opinion, and I see people using them wrong. I see people doing the like vigorously back and forth till there's no more peace. So how do you feel about those?
I don't like glass files per se. They have their place. They're wonderfully flat and they have a good face to them, right? So they're like it's basically just an emery board, really. But it's really fine grit, and it has a higher quality product. I overwork my tools, and so I think that I've already ruined one of the ones that I got, just because I try to do too much with my shit sometimes. That's why they have all these different stages of cut files, like I was talking about, because if you're working with polymers or doing whatever. They're all right. They have their place. Like I said, I got a set. They work, but they live in the drawer. I have the files are always right here, like right within arm's reach. So, like, the big files are out in the shed. I got big files too.
Would you slap those two on you?
Fuck yeah. Those are the best. Because they got like big teeth and it's easy to knock the stuff out of them, if you're like hogging through some aluminum or making some crazy piece of art for some weird fancy artist. That's what I used to do. Use glass files for clear parts. Not a bad choice to use them for. That's what we would need it for, really. It's like really, really fine stuff. So like, yeah, I'll use my 600, 800, 1200 grits, like sticks and stuff. And honestly, like, I'm such an old head when it comes to using files and shit like that. I'll use my files on clear stuff, and if you use it right, you can get a really, really clean and smooth cut. Tools that highly underappreciated are heavy duty Serracana ceramic scrapers.
Oh yeah, yep.
These are wonderful, and my camera loves them. Look at how well it's balanced. See how thick that is?
Yeah, that's pretty thick.
My hands are huge, so it's hard to see. Yeah, I'll put it next to a number 11.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's night and day with that. Yeah, it's like that would be like 5 of those blades for that.
Yeah,
one.
or more, or way more. Yeah, maybe like even 8 to 10. But these things are really, really strong. They come in a bunch of different shapes. You can get them from Volks USA, the doll company.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And they're made for ceramic, so they're made for cleaning cured ceramic, essentially, and for like cutting things out and hollowing out. So they're like all these like shapes. I found out about them from Luca Calamity, from my talkings with that man, and yeah, I'll never go back.
How is ordering from Volks? I've been looking at Volks like for years, and I haven't biting the bullet yet buying stuff from. Yeah,
it's fantastic. Yeah, every time, because I ordered these in 3 batches. I ordered 1 to see how it would work, and I was like, oh, I need to get the round ones now. And then I got the round ones, and then I had the round ones.
I see the round one. Can you show the round one again?
Yeah. So it's
okay.
It's like a lollipop, right? Same deal with this one there. It's like flat, right? And they have different fidelities, right? So this is like a certain radius. This has a certain radius, and then this has almost like a knife edge, where it's like really, really sharp. And yeah, I got the regular one, and I got the 2 roundos. Showed him to Luca, and I was like, "Oh, look, I got these scrapers!" And then he's like, where's the other one? I was like, ordered it up. Guilted into purchasing a tool.
So that comes. So each of those ones is separate when you purchase those.
Individual.
Ones?
Yeah, they're
Wow.
individual. Yeah, you don't buy a whole set, and they're not cheap.
Yeah, Command Volks is not a cheap. It's not cheap stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah. Nor is the Zukimura or their Super Wing series models. So there, let me see if I can figure out where they are, because you got to find them. It's like difficult. I used to have a link that I was sharing with people, because I would talk these things up, and they're like, "Where do you find them?" Like, hang on, I gotta search the internet for 5 minutes. So, Volks. R. Go. Found it. You just got to know where to look. Or do you? Wait, we got a blog about it. That's not right. We got a YouTube video from Calamity about it, which is right. Here we go. Zukimura, the current taste of model kits, it says. Wow. All the Super Wing series. I have a couple of these. Old man blog. Yeah.
Chris posted it. He found them.
Thank you, Chris. He's the best. There it is.
Yeah.
Volks USA Store Collection Sculpting Tools. I hate that I wasted my money on a gun primer siren. I am unfamiliar with the gun primer siren. They recently moved their online store. Okay, cool. Yeah, because it was a little bit hard to navigate. I did notice that the Zukimura had its own
section
model site, which is cool. Freaking sweet.
Oh yeah, look at that. So I clicked on the ZM ceramic knife, and you can click on flat, round, scalpel, or thin.
There you go.
Wow.
They're like what? They're probably like $30 a piece or $35 a piece, something like that. They ship fast. They never break. They come. You buy them once, you're probably gonna have it forever, unless you do something atrocious to it, like hit it with a hammer. I recommend them. So that's kind of like another thing too, like because everything's so expensive. Buy it in bits and pieces, and then as long as you buy the right stuff and you take care of your tools, they'll last forever. Like my files. Like I haven't had to buy a new file in like 5 years or something like that. Can't remember the last time I bought a new file, because I just take care of them and they will take care of me. Buy a lot of sanding paper. that I do go through. Everyone's gonna go through that, but
I was watching someone build, and I'd never seen it before. Like there was the person, when they sand their part, like they were building, their Gundam or whatever, they actually literally would clean up one part, not use that section of the paper again, and just only, and would use the whole paper to
in like streaks. Like in streaks.
So like literally, right? So let's say like this part right here, he would use up like the whole paper, going for 1 scrape, 2 scrape, 3 scrape, till he cleaned, and would not reuse the same spot again.
That seems very
wasteful. And so the whole paper would be like used with like,
I bet it looks cool.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so stressful.
Yeah. Do they frame those as well? Is that art?
I was like, I don't know. I'd never seen that before. I thought that was
I used, before I got the like spray out pot, I used to, and I mean I still do use like paper towels. So I'll use paper towels to that I caught that with my foot. That was fantastic. This is the tape measure, by the way.
Oh, okay. That was
so I'll use like paper towels to like test colors, blow out paint or whatever. You end up with like different themed paper towels, different colors. This one's kind of blue and gray, this is kind of green. I used to do that before I had the spray out pot, before I was using the paper towels and stuff. I would use just like typing paper, and I put like a couple of sheets of typing paper down, and then I would just spray out paint onto it. So I had like a whole one that was like the Kamaris, one that was like the Buster Gundam, whatever.
Okay,
and so they're themed kind of in their own way, because like the Kamaris is like blue and gray and white, and like purple and lavender and all these other colors, and then like the buster is obviously green and orange and cream and brown and all these other colors. So yeah, but they were cool, and I had those for a minute, and I was like, oh, this is art, just throw it away. Actually, I probably have it in a folder in the attic because I'm a pack rat. I did find some more cool files to show though. This is, I don't know this one. This is a single cut. This one's really, really good. I used to use this a lot when I was a metal worker for doing latch work for doors. But it has teeth on the edge.
Oh.
As well as teeth on the face. As you can see, I need to clean it. It's gross. This is another taper, half round taper. And then this one. Yeah, and then this one is real fancy.
Oh, look at that. So it's four-sided, like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, it looks
like Cloud Sword from Final Fantasy VII, little baby Buster.
Yeah, it's a little tiny little baby Buster, but it's like it goes to like the tiniest like razor edge. It is literally like a razor.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. I got
How
it from
often
the old
do you use
metal
that
shop,
one?
but as you can see, it's got some checks in the edge. Whenever it's needed, that's the idea. As you can see, there's like the checks in the edge where somebody was abusive to the file. Not on my watch. I used to get in fights, man, with people in the metal shops. At the metal shop, I hear somebody filing wrong from the other side of the shop. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Cocky asshole. What the fuck? It's fun though. I meant the Despe Siren glass file. Ah, yes. There you go. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. That's the thing about tool companies. This band makes some cool stuff. I have their planer, their inline sander. I got it from Charles Apprentice back when he was still hanging around. It is in one of my drawers. I don't use it very often. This drawer? Yes. Right next to my Arduino. I'm not even gonna pull it out because it's all crowded. That thing is actually it's cool because it is like nice to have a fixed like sanding block set up, so you have something that's gonna be 90. You know that you can sand a 90-degree plane. But the dial was off on it like 3 degrees, so 90 was like 93. So that's not, I wouldn't have known that unless I measured it myself, and then now I can calibrate for it. So that's kind of the thing. You have to take some of these newer, fancier, flashier tools. I mean, yeah, it's anodized, fancy aluminum. It looks like hot shit, but like, it's not quite right. A lot of the times these things are made flashy and then they don't necessarily have the quality craftsmanship or the construction that's needed for it to be a long-lasting tool. And that's kind of disappointing because, everybody is really excited about the hobby and sees all these cool things, and there's a lot of influencers out there that push a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily good quality shit, but they got it for free and they're getting a kickback or something like that, so they're gonna tout it. That's why you got to really trust who you're having check out your tools. Like, everybody just send your tools to Chris Pabs, make sure that he does a full video review and write up on it. No, Chris has done a lot of testing, which is good. And I've done a little bit, and I've been really grateful to be able to participate and give my feedback when necessary or when applicable. But
I mean, everyone's style is completely different too. Like, even though some people like to start the new stuff, like you said with your filers, like you prefer this one over that. For me, like for example, like an X-Acto blade, like I love curved.
Okay. Why?
I like that I could. So I call it the cutting the apple method. So I can, whatever that's, like I can go this motion and it doesn't, I feel like I can control like how far it goes, how it curves. Because I feel like, the straight blade, I feel like when I'm cutting with that, I always dig in by accident or cut where I didn't want to like and nip. I always nick it like with it, but I feel like with me having a curve, I am able to like, okay, I don't want to go all the way, or like I feel I have more control with this versus like a straight.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I have a bunch of different styles of blades, but I really just go for the number 11, like a basic bitch, And I have like multiple around me at all times, like 3 or 4 in different stages of abuse and use.
I'm not sure what number mine is. My little pack's like, oh, wait, no.
Let's see.
They're not. Then I have like the baby versions. They have like even smaller curved. That's like really, really, really small. Like this one's like really tiny.
Oh yeah, nice. It's got the little knife edge, the little like scoop on the tip.
Yeah. So I get these two. I don't know the numbers. I couldn't tell, but it's still X-Acto. Like those are my 2 go-tos for blades.
Okay. I can dig it. Yeah, I have so many. I just keep buying stuff, and then they like, oh, there's a bunch of blades. But I say I keep buying stuff. I'm talking about buying stuff for over the course of like 10 years.
You do have a lot of stuff.
I do, but I've been collecting it for a long time, so that's why. Don't waste it. Oh, here you go. Here's some weird ones. Have you seen that?
Oh, I've seen it like once in like at the store. Yeah, so no, I'm too scared to use that shape. That's too much.
That's like
yeah, it's like, yeah, you're right. It is like that. How I like to hold it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little samurai sword.
Oh,
and then they have them like the other way too.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I
would probably like
different rigs. Yeah.
I would probably like that one. The
hook.
Yeah, the hook one looks.
Yo. Vicious.
Have you actually messed with all those all those ones or no? I was gonna say, they look too clean.
Yeah, they're way clean. Are you kidding me?
Look at that monster! Holy crap!
Yeah, they're just like beasts. Like I can't even remember why I got these. Are these related to? You know what these might be related to? These might be related to the. Please don't fall. The set of razor files I got, which was actually pretty extensive.
Oh, I did invest in the
that goes along with this thing.
Oh yeah, the old school wooden handle boy. Yeah.
Hey, what? Listen. Oh.
It shows your age with that handle. Oh,
I got it like a couple of years ago. What the fuck?
That looks like a little saw right there.
It is, yeah. So I have the short blade, and then I have one that's a longer blade. And then there's these other couple of blades here. They're just like regular ass.
Oh, look at that one! Yeah.
Like they're okay. I use my grow bit more than anything. My jeweler saw. Can't go wrong. Donatello. Got that from Manny's son.
Oh, he's the man.
Yeah.
I love him.
He's a cool little dude. Oh, here's that one. We talked about files for so long. We talked about riflers.
Looks like something from Star Wars. There, like
riflers are real crazy. That is some super duper aggressive sanding right there.
What would you use that for?
I use these for, and then the end, like this one here, the end is curved and spooned. So it's like round on both faces, but it also curves up. Point. And the knife edge on this side. I use this stuff for rough, like really rough shaping. So that's like before you're even like getting into using files. So if I'm doing like say something sculptural, or when I was doing props use them a lot for doing prop replicas. So when I was doing, like, say I'm working on the barrel of the bandit, the triple barreled bandit shotgun barrel for Borderlands, and it's got all these different details on it and stuff. I build up a bunch of epoxy sculpt, mix it up, and I build this form, and then I can use those riflers to go through and carve out and make these rough shapes into these smooth forms, and then help work my my geometry together, and then from there pare it down, finer grade cutters, different kinds of tools, whether going to a sander or something, then maybe a powered tool of some sort, rotary tool or a detail sander. But yeah, they're for just like really hogging out and just digging out sheet. And they make them much smaller too. Those are really coarse. Like
yeah, that I can see that. Like that would like take off skin. Like
yeah, they can. Yeah, yeah. It's like a lot like a rasp too. Or you're thinking about like woodworking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So super duper coarse. What do we got here? Thomas says, "Oh, scalpel size. You must have been talking about that little blade ahead."
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that we're only at about an hour and 45 minutes, but I think we'll call this live stream for tonight. We had a fantastic tool conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, Alicia, and showing off your resin project. It's fucking
You're
fantastic.
welcome.
Where can the people find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Dokudel, Dokudel.
There you go. She's out there building, having fun, being funny. And
yes.
yeah. And you can find me here on the KotoKai network. And you can also look for the next Built Sideways podcast, which is going to drop in about 2 hours. Watch your podcasting stuff. There's going to be a funny thing. I'll post it on the Instagram in the morning like I always do. And so we'll see you guys again next week. Thank you again, Alicia, and thank you guys for joining us. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Build something fun that gets you excited, and bye. Bye.